Well, this has been great. I am looking for Sophia to hand the baton off to Sequoia. Thank you so much, Sophia. I appreciate that. And Sequoia, you're up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sequoia. I am a web designer for coaches. I consider myself the bridge between the gap of coaching and technology. When I first started my business, the question that I had for everyone is the question that I'm going to ask all of you too, which is, what was the first investment that you made in your business? Crystal.
Business cards. I created my own business cards, and I did not spend a lot of money because I didn't have a lot of money. I had student loans that were huge. And so I designed them myself. I was very proud of them. They were fairly simple compared to what I do now, but I wanted to make sure that I had something to give to people that would have contact information for me. And this is in 1996, before email was really even up and running, and to a large extent, we were still doing a lot of faxing. But I wanted to make sure that people could call me and they could fax me. And I accomplished that. And over the years, I have continued to have business cards. I've changed the design of them, but I always try to put my own personality into them.
Do you still have business cards?
Absolutely. And I get asked for them a lot too. Awesome. I run through them. I'm on my last box. It's taken a while to go through them, but I still use them almost every day.
Wow. I only use my business cards to drop them into like the free dinner or whatever at a restaurant. It's like the only time that my business cards ever get used. Michelle.
I joined a networking group. I didn't have business cards. I didn't have a website. I had nothing. And that was the first thing that I did. And all the rest of the stuff, I figured I could just work it out later. And I could just give them my contact information. And it was a huge benefit to my business and getting it started.
Awesome. Lisa, go ahead.
Hi. I invested in a website. That was the first thing I did because I started my business in 2015. And at that point in time, it was clear to me that pretty much if you're not on the internet, you're not anywhere. And to this day, I would say I've got at least 50% of my business is from internet, basically having my website and, being on all of the social media and all of that is critical. I do get like 50% of my business from, word of mouth, but at least 50% comes from that website. So that's all I have.
Yeah. Sophia, I think you had your hand up.
I'm trying to think. I came in product. So I think I did product, and I think I did the website and the business cards as well. I think I did all of them. I think I did all of them. But it's interesting what you say about the business cards, because especially since the pandemic, like I don't know if you all heard the whole, do we still need business cards? Should we have a digital business card? But it's right. A lot of people are still using it's something about having something in your hand, So yeah, I think business cards are still really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation for sure. Jen, you had your hand up.
The first investment I made in myself was in myself. I was at a really low point in my corporate career. And I knew that I wanted to start a business, but to start the business I needed a certification. So while I was still working through corporate, I took this money that I had set aside and I enrolled in a coaching certification program. So the very first investment I made was in myself and in my future. Then it was the business cards and the website and the stickers, which love giving people stickers. They actually hold on to them, and it has my Instagram handle on it. Business cards get lost all the time, but first it was really the investment in myself that spun forward the rest of my success.
Charlotte, I see your comment. Thank you for sticking around. We're so
That's
happy to have
amazing.
you.
I love the business card idea. So let me show you guys something. See, this is if you could see the scan right here, this is a digital business card. It's hard plastic.
Oh, interesting.
And so people, what they do is you take your phone and you scan it. Let me see, I'm doing it. You scan it, and then all my information pops up. This is something I hold on to. I don't have 1,000 business cards. I got one. And you scan it electronically. It's called, look, I'm trying to make it, it's .dot. Look that up. And I have all my information, all my handles, my latest book, all the things. So it's just one way I actually was trying it as a, should I get business cards? And I was like, I'm just going to try this and electronically. And I love it. So I don't have to do all the handing out.
That's really cool. Yeah.
What's really cool about that idea is like, that's a physical hard plastic one, but you can get those QR codes for free. So you could just get the QR code and pop it on a paper business card as well. So if
I actually
dual tag team it.
Yeah, well, I actually have that on. You could just use the QR and send it. Yeah, it's so sophisticated.
My business card has a QR code on it that takes you to my website, but that's because, I'm a tech nerd. Who did anyone else want to share their first investment? Yeah, Nicole.
So again, I'm always very unconventional, but sort of like Jen, my investment was in myself, but also in a way where I could network. And so my first thought was I got a membership to a really expensive gym. I lived in New York City at the time. And so I got a membership to one of the most expensive gyms. So I knew I was going to be connecting with high quality and people who were millionaires all the time. And so I would be working out and I'd be chatting with someone. Oh, what do you do? Oh, actually, I help people. I'm a coach in this way. And then, oh my gosh, I need your information. You sure do. Let's keep working out together. And so it was really an unconventional way. But that's just to say that people should really, like, when growing your business, again, it's unique to you. What are you offering? And where are you going to meet your clients? How are you going to meet those people that are going to support you? Whether that be as other business owners or as people who are going to, got a little dinosaur in the kitchen here. Now he's a wolf. I'll let y'all keep talking. But yeah, I love to think outside of the box when it comes to anything. So just because conventional wisdom says you should do it this way, I think it's important to always check in with yourself and what is the way that would work best for me.
Can I piggyback off of that real quick? That kind of unconventional way of connecting with people. And I know this is kind of gone off the rails here, but going back to the comment I made earlier about you can do things for free. Because I know a lot of people probably tuning in are new to business. And if you don't have a lot of money, create the opportunities. So I created, when I lived back in Pennsylvania, and I'll explain that when it's my turn, but I created a hiking group because I wanted to connect with like-minded women who loved nature. So I created a hiking group and we would hike every month, and it ended up being a great funnel for my business. But really, I didn't do it for my business. I did it because my core values are freedom and connection, and the pandemic had taken that away from me. Mm-hmm. So it's like outside is safe. So think of unconventional ways, whether it's joining a gym, joining a networking group, creating something. If there's a group that you're like, man, I wish this existed, start it. Use your entrepreneurial spirit and start it so that you can continue to invest in yourself. And because there's so much more to investing than just money as well. It's where are you investing your energy and finding the right places to do that.
That's so great. Charlotte said, how do you figure out what you want to do? And I think it goes back to what's the first thing you invested in. Get a notebook and get a pen. Like, this is $1, right? Like $1, or maybe $3 now because we live in 2021. But get something where you're just constantly, any idea, you're writing it down, a thought of what you want to do, you're writing it down, you're You're journaling your things that you're passionate about. You're talking about things you don't like. And in that, you will notice what is the common problem or theme that you continuously keep on coming. What is the hurdle that you keep on coming that you just do not think that you can get over? Because if you have that hurdle, 50 million other women or business people or human beings have that problem too. Like statistically, 1 in 5 people will have that problem, and that equals about 50 million people in this world. So find where the problem is that you, and then go, I have a solution, figure out what your solution is. So if you know what the problem is, you can figure out the solution, you can sell it. It's sellable. It doesn't have to be a product. It could be a concept, an idea. I mean, we're selling our thoughts and our words now. We're selling encouragement. Anything can be sold to make money, but realize like the biggest currency that you are making and spending is time, because money is just another fucking facade, and don't buy into it. You do not have to be in the red or in the black to be a good business or a bad business. Like that stuff is just, we're quantifying and qualifying again. So remember, the only thing you can ever spend and get back is time. And so when you look at those things, I think then you start figuring out, what is it that I actually want to do? Where do I want to spend my money? And in my, because time is the only money you actually own, and it is yours. And so where do I want to spend that time? And I think then you start finding the solutions, and then you decide, where's my first investment? Is it myself? Is it a pad of paper? Like, where do I need to start first? So you'll start getting those answers for yourself, because we will all have different answers to it.
I think also where you start is not necessarily where you'll end up. Like, it's very easy to think, if I start a business, I'm going to be stuck in it. But I'm sure all of these women here have pivoted and done different things at some point. My business has gone through many different iterations. There was a point where I was like leading Instagram training seminars. Like, what is that?
Well, we're all Ross in a couch. Ross in the couch and those stairs. Come on, friend. Pivot. Like, you
That's right.
be able to. You're going to pivot 50 million times, I'm sure.
Yeah. So finding something that gives you, that fuels you and you have passion for, is a great place to start. And, maybe you'll start making knitting hats for cats, and then you'll realize that you're really good at talking to people and empowering people, and you'll become a coach. And so there's tons of businesses where people start with something, with a small idea, and then it creates this huge business. I saw hands. Michelle, go ahead.
Well, everything's a journey. And so when you start out and you think about, okay, what makes me passionate? What fires me up? How can I make a business out of that? And like you said, it can turn into something completely different than what you thought originally. But God has a plan and will take you where you need to be. Different things will come in and push you into different directions. I became a coach by accident, literally by accident. But it was the journey. And when you look back, you can kind of connect the dots to how you got there. At the time, you can't see it. But afterwards, you can look back and be like, I understand what got me here and why I'm here.
Lisa, you had your hand up. Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, kind of addressing Charlotte's question from previously, is how do you figure out what business to do? And for me, I just wanted to kind of share a little story. I'll try to be brief. I was an electrical engineer for 18 years for the space program before I became a physical therapist. And there was a very difficult thing for me to figure out what I wanted to do instead of being an engineer. It took me literally years. And I wanted to share with Charlotte specifically, yes, you should certainly, go with your passion. For me, I loved working out. I know that's weird, but that was me. I loved working out. And I found that when I was at the gym, people would come and ask me advice and stuff. And so I knew I wanted to do something physical, but I didn't know what. And I wanted to just share just for a moment that it took me a long time, a lot of research. I looked into a lot of different options of what sorts of jobs, are there out there for people who want to do physical stuff, you know? So I looked at chiropractors, I looked at doctors, I looked at nurse practitioners, I looked at physical personal trainers, I looked at massage therapy, I looked at all of these things, and I had to amass a great deal of information about each of these potential careers before I made a decision to change careers and to do what I chose. And that is what I believe it takes is that back work, you know, to look at what you love and then look at all of the possible ideas around what you love, and then, you know, understand what it would take for each of those to make them a reality for yourself. So that is my answer to Charlotte's question about how do you figure out what business to start. You got to do the legwork.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
And when you're doing all the things that Lisa just mentioned, use that notebook that Erica was talking about. That was great. Thank you so much, Sequoia, for hosting for us.